What's up YouTube, it's JT Blackhawk here. As I promised you guys, I'm doing a series of these similar knives coming out of China. My previous video on this was two folding blades, the Kenku C01 or C201 I believe, and the Eafengrow snakehead. Today we have three candidates from the fixed blade variety of knives. These are easy to spot when you're shopping on Amazon or eBay. Let's see what the differences are. You'll find that there in fact is zero differences except for one thing. And this is why I'm making this video, because you might want to consider these things. You're an avid knife collector and you care about the fine details. This is the Eafengrow fixed blade tactical knife. It's stamped 440C on the blade, indicating the type of steel. True full tang with a G10 double scale on each side. It's cool. I do find it kind of versatile. I mean, the recurve blade is something that has become useful for a lot of purposes. This kind of serration has become more popular in the recent ages. Ops Knives has been using this kind of serration. Gerber in some occasions has been putting it on the spline of their knives. I find that personally this serration lasts longer because it has a lot fewer teeth that can break or dull. It's easier to sharpen as well. And in the case of an emergency where you have to saw some wood or some heavy material, it has a better grind. A true double-sided blade. It has these finger grooves here. It could be for different size hands, pinkies. It's interesting anyhow. There's jimping right before the beginning of the spline here in the back. And there's also jimping here, and I'm assuming that this is for some kind of combat orientation. I am going to discuss some differences of these knives, but right now I just wanted to briefly introduce at least one of them since they're all pretty much the same. You can't immediately tell any differences by looking at the knives. Here's the Oerla version. Forgot to mention this earlier, but it does have a wire cutter right here. Some jimping on the front and bottom, which I also forgot to mention earlier, and I assume that just enhances the grip overall. Then here is the MCDLOKA. I guess this is just another off-brand from the main line of these knives. After closely analyzing these very similarly, pretty much identical knives, by the way, these two are also advertising 440 C and HC respectively. They all say it in different articles, C and HC, and some just say 440. So I'm going to assume they're probably high carbon 440. Getting into the details here, as far as blade grind quality, there's something that I like to call grind alignment. So you see the grind of the knife on both sides, and then you see this line that divides the two grinds. The line ends up a little bit biased towards the rear edge of this blade on the Oerla knife, as you can see. By a good 2 millimeters at least, it's off. You can see here, it's off to the left about 2 millimeters of the true center of this point right here. Now we're talking, I mean, almost borderline anal details, but for some people this stuff matters. The Eafengrow comes into second place. It's about a millimeter or a millimeter and a half off here. Grind alignment right here in the center. And on the back, at least it's symmetrical. 1 millimeter off here and 1 millimeter off here towards, again, towards the back of the edge. Now the one that comes in first place, and I'm not sure if this is because the people at MCDLOKA said, let's just be different than our competitors and let's take the extra 30 minutes it takes to grind it more surgically. This knife almost has a perfect near center grind alignment to the naked eye. This grind is near perfect. The EF and the MCD seem to have the sharpest angle of sharpening. Therefore, it seems, oof, yeah, this is deadly, deadly sharp. These angles seem to be a lot more steeper. Oof, I think this one, the MCD, is the sharpest out of all three. Be very careful handling these knives. I have to start getting back into the habit of doing gloved reviews, but with these three, I'd probably name the MCD clear first place winner because of the attention to detail when it comes to the grinds. There's nothing visibly that you could right away say, oh, that's off or that's off. The grinds seem to be right in the perfect place for all these. There doesn't seem to be any visual imperfection. The scale alignments with the tang looks good to me. Now these knives can be had between $25 and $30 right now. There's coupon deals and all kinds of discounts going on with these right now. Make sure that you can catch a good deal on these. Now the knives do come with a Kydex sheath, which I thought is pretty damn awesome. It has this new kind of design of belt loop, some kind of like a release mechanism here. It's supposed to be adjustable. Now the adjustment of the belt loop, right now it's set up for handle up carry, so you can carry it handle up on your belt this way, but it's designed so that you can actually invert for a lateral carry like this on your belt. And that's probably the best way to carry it, because then you can do an ambidextrous orientation to your draw hand, whether you're left-handed or right-handed. You just click this lock right here and you squeeze, and you open this up. What I like about this is that it's a tensioned belt carry. I think there's two pieces of these extra. I guess you could adjust for the width of your belt if you have a thin belt, if you're out a wider belt, or you can remove them all together, I assume, if you have a really wide belt. Click it on back over here. So it has kind of like a double feature. It has a double safety. First it clicks on here, and then you can bring this lock in this way. I really like it. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like and subscribe button, because I'm always coming out with new reviews. I want to make sure you guys are informed of all the new stuff coming out. And please look out for the next videos. I have the latest 2020 Walmart knives and a few other comparisons like this one coming up. Thank you guys. Take care. JT out.